two. What do, people? It's Raz. And I'm happy to say that I've got my first guest of the season. He is the man from Melbourne. He is Jordan, and he is currently the number one man in EPL Supercoach. Jordan, how are you?
Raz, very, very well. Thank you, mate. How are you?
Mate, I'm good. Long day at work, and I've been looking forward to talk. I've been looking forward to talk to you all afternoon. Well, the last 2 weeks, even last week when we were saying, you're top 40, let's see how you can go this week. And then, over the weekend, I think all of us in the Discord chat were, looking at the rank, and we're pretty happy to see you number one, mate. How do you feel?
Oh, the lads are pretty pumped, man. Honestly, stoked, humbled. Yeah, really, really, really happy to be honest. Because yeah, obviously with Supercoach, first year EPL, you never know how it's gonna go. But yeah, really humbled to be in first at the moment, man. Nice surprise, can I say?
Good.
But yeah, very, very humbled, and I'm very, very keen to go over things with you and inform the people out there about how I went. So yeah,
Mate, you've been asking a lot of questions from day one in pre-season. It's been fantastic to talk to you. I've enjoyed it. You've been one of the first boys in the chat, and I've kind of said to everyone, if you join the chat, I'm pretty loyal, and I like to bring people up if I can, and I've said, hey mate, if you're free, let's have a chat. But we're all doing this first season, EPL Supercoach. A lot of people from FPL have come across.
Mm.
Tell us, what is your background with football? Who do you support? Essentially, how's your weekend with football, mate?
Yeah. So Man United supporter. So it's been rough. Can I say 10 to 12 years since Sir Alex has gone?
Yep.
But stick fat with him, and you never know what can happen. But yeah, love the APL, love checking in on the scores, watching. Um, Same, I come from an AFL background, so I just love watching sport in general, and just the thrill of it. I don't know, just something different with EPL and soccer that just gets me up and about and watching the games and just checking in. And yeah, it's completely different to AFL, obviously. But yeah, obviously time difference. It can be different with the game starting later and things like that. But it's what makes it even better, man. To be honest, so yeah, that's kind of my background around EPL. So since I was little, really, I was really into it. Loved Ronaldo when he was at United. So he's kind of what got me to be a Man United supporter, to be honest. And when he came back, it was yeah, unbelievable. But on to bigger and better things for him now. But yeah, that's kind of my background around EPL and yeah,
How are
things like that.
you? How are you finding it so far? Like, I know you come from AFL Supercoach background. You've played that for many
Yeah.
years. How are you
Yeah.
finding? Is it different? Like, is your tactics different? With down the road with this season, we've got double game weeks and
Mm.
blank game weeks. Like, how are you feeling approaching this season so far? I know we're only 5 weeks in, and I know it's early, and I know you're top, but
Yeah.
the top's already separating a little bit from, the top,
Mm.
say, top 20 are separating a little bit. So what are you looking forward to this season with your team, before we get into your team and your results so far? And what,
Yeah.
what is your plan for the next, let's say, 10 weeks? What's your plan for the next 10 weeks?
Yeah. So obviously 5 game weeks in, but obviously very happy to be top at the moment. But anything can happen, and it is a very, very long season. So that's the difference, I guess, with APL to AFL.
Yeah.
Seasons are longer, um, and trades wise, I feel like you have to be very, can I say, cautious with
Yeah.
your trades because obviously you don't have a lot. And yes, as you said, the double game weeks will be crucial. And one thing that I will say is I am trying to hold as many boosts as I can for the double game weeks because I feel like that's going to be crucial. Because if I'm not mistaken, double game weeks towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
So it's going to be crucial having those boosts. And I feel like that's going to separate people as well. Where if you're using all your boosts now, it could come back to bite you at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So we'll get into trades and things like that later, but I am considering using a boost this week, just to where my team's at and things like that. But yeah, my starting team, and I'm sure we'll get into that as well. Yeah, there's
Let's
going to
bring
be
it
some
up. Let's go
things.
to your
Yeah,
let's go to
there's
your
going to be
first
some
game
things that
week.
we're going to talk about. And yeah, I was kind of in two minds about one particular player. But I'm really, really happy that I did go with him. So the first week, pretty much, scored 140.
Why can't I bloody
Which
get to the sorry? Why can't I get back to the league, the bastard? Hang on, give me a
You're
second.
all good, mate. You're all good.
All right, here we go.
Beauty about being live.
All right, where
Beautiful.
are you? Here he
Yeah,
is.
here I am. So yeah, as I said, 140, and I lost that first game week as well. So I was like, okay, there's definitely some people out there that know what they're doing, and have better sides and things like that. But yeah, as you can see there, Ekatike, Frimpong, Palmer, Raya, Saka, Saar, Van de Ven, Juve, Haaland was captain, Fernandez and Dewsbury Hall were all on field. And yeah, that's kind of was my starting squad. Now, the player that I was talking about that I was in two minds about, funnily enough, was Ekatike. I was tossing up between him. I was tossing up between Sesko at the time from Man United, and I was tossing up between Gyökeres.
I was praying you didn't say Watkins, bro. I was praying you didn't say Watkins. I'm
Yeah,
happy you didn't.
and that's another thing as well. Like, he did come up in my mind, and a lot of people were big on him, and I was just like, I don't know how I don't. Yep, I don't know how he's going to go. So, look, lucky because I know a lot of people did go with him, and that's where kind of I went the pod point of difference, and I did go with Ekatike. And obviously, that first game week, he had 20 points. I believe he had a goal and assist, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, he was one player that really kind of, I guess, separated me already, because I believe that first game week I was about, I can't even remember now. I would have been for maybe 600th overall or something like that. So yeah, and then obviously had Haaland as captain, which another thing I want to say is your captain choices are going to make or break your team, your season. If you don't have a captain who's scoring well, that's what will separate you as well, I guess. So that was kind of my first game week. So I was like, okay, I've got a pretty good team here. That's looking like they'll contend. Yeah. So yeah, and the next week, I guess we can go on to that now. 106. Again, so I actually didn't do any trades this week. I didn't do any
Yeah,
trades.
I think we were very, very vocal after game week one in the Discord, and I was praying to everyone, and I think
Yep.
everyone did listen. I
Yep.
don't think anyone made a trade in Discord because
Hmm.
obviously the break evens and the price changes didn't kick in till game week three, right? Or after
Yeah.
during game week three. So
Yeah.
I don't think I think that's a good move, and I think a lot of people who aren't too familiar with Supercoach were making trades, and I think that's
Yeah.
probably where we've kind of maybe saved one or two trades as opposed to the average man or everyone else. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was very much a week where it was just, hey, let's keep our team from week one. Yeah, fixtures were pretty good for both of us because we've got quite similar teams. So it
Hmm.
was good for both of us. But one thing I know, and I don't know if you can see like the other scores in our league, it's numbered week two was where you kind of moved up quite
Yeah.
considerably up the rankings because the scores were very, very poor. I myself, you beat me this weekend. How
Hmm.
dare you? Um, I scored 69 because I remember Haaland played Tottenham and he was not involved. You've vice captained Saka and you've taken the good points there and
Hmm.
it was a very, very big week for you.
Yeah, it was. It was. And like you said, that week kind of separated me from the pack, I think. And as you've already said as well, our teams were very similar. And honestly, I took a very safe VC score with Saka. Like, he only scored 12 points. But
Yeah.
that game week, I didn't see many, many big captain scores. So that's where I was like, okay, I'm going to just play it safe. And if it works out where I score above average, great. Um, and yeah, it has kind of put me apart from the rest, I guess. And it was, yeah, again, another good game week, a really good game week.
That was a very, I wouldn't say it was a tough game week.
Mm,
I remember looking into game week two. Actually, no, sorry. My video, I remember saying that if there was going to be a poor week for me, it was going to
mm,
be this week because Newcastle played
correct.
Liverpool, Tottenham
Yeah,
played Man City, and I think both of us were quite heavily invested on Tottenham to begin with because
yeah,
I think we've been quite vocal that Tottenham was the team to target within like the
mm,
first 7 or 8 fixtures, and
yeah,
we didn't expect Tottenham to win. Well, I
mm,
didn't. Like it
mm,
was just like from me, I'm pretty sure I had like Van de Ven on the bench and Vicario on the bench, and I've lost 24 points there. So I
yeah,
think you had to made some good decisions and, obviously started Van de Ven, taken that Saka vice captaincy where a lot of people didn't get anything through Haaland because I think a lot of people went, oh, Haaland scored 22 game one. Let's just whack the captaincy on him. Like, and
yeah,
I think Salah only got an assist in game week two. So the two, heavy hitters
mm,
didn't really score well. And Palmer didn't play after the first game. That was the game against
right.
West Ham where it got ruled out 5 minutes before kickoff.
Mm,
And it was a Saturday morning, 5 a.m. game. And a lot of people weren't going to wake up. And I was lucky enough to get up and wake and watch it because I wanted to vice captain him and I bloody changed at last second. So I was very lucky. But you did really well that week.
yeah,
But
yeah.
heading into game week three, I think from what I can remember, I think you were like in the top 100 by now already, I think.
I believe I believe I was. Yeah. So yeah. Again though, like the Discord group is so competitive, man. Like it's an unbelievable group to be a part
Well,
of as well.
we've got the best 10-man league in the
Yeah.
country, mate.
Oh mate, and
So
we bloody deserve it too.
the amount of stuff we go through during
Yeah.
the week where like I try and say it during my videos weekly, like we're very active and it's
Yeah.
great. But a lot of I think like 8 of the boys are within the top 2,000 or something. Like
Mm.
it's a very, very strong league, but it's also and I've said it to you in the chat. Like I've said, hey, you're first now. Now it's
Yeah.
like you're the benchmark. But
Yeah.
it's subconsciously, I think everyone's gonna think like that too. They're like, hey, Jordan's first. Let's see how we go versus Jordan. But anyways, week
Yeah.
three, talk to me.
Week three. So yeah, again, 130 plus. Like I haven't dropped under a ton this season yet. So I've been really, really happy with that. Yeah, and you've got scores in there. You've got a 21 from Dewsbury Hall, an 18 from Fernandez, and I had him as vice captain. I think this was a game week where I couldn't take a loop, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah,
No, true enough.
potentially Palmer or Dorgy play. I can't remember exactly, but look, it worked out in my favor again. Haaland captain. I'm just thinking, I'm looking through my notes here. Did I make trades? I believe I did.
You made,
So
I'll bring it up here for you.
yeah,
Oh, the photos disappeared.
that's right. I've got it here, Vraz. If I can talk through it here. So it was Sucker out
Yes,
because
because
he
you
was
got
injured.
injured. Yes.
So I thought that was one where I needed to move on because it was 4+ weeks. It was looking like. Um, and obviously I didn't trade the week before, and I still had Frimpong, and I thought
Yep.
he was somebody that needed to go as well.
Yep.
Um, and then in came Calafiori because he had been performing really, really well. Um, and in came Kudus from Tottenham. So
Yeah, I think that was it week two, Calafiori scored like 30.
yeah,
I think that
I
was
think he scored really, really well the first couple of weeks, I believe. So he was a
yeah,
trade in, I think, at week three, and a
yeah,
lot of people would have gone that way.
yeah.
Um, and I went, and I'm really glad I went this route. I went Kudus over Richarlison, which I
We
think
had a bit
is
of a debate about that in the Discord group. I think all of us were pretty set on Richarlison.
yeah,
But after week three, I believe, was it after? Yeah, after week three was the international break.
correct.
And I think I mentioned Richarlison doesn't usually play or start after the international break because it's the same as McAllister for Liverpool. from
Yep.
England to South America, it's the longest trip for these boys. So
Correct.
I think say five or six of us. I think only one of the boys went Richarlison,
Mm.
and I think five or six of us went. Okay, Kudus. He didn't score or an assist, and I think he scored like seven or eight the week before.
Yep.
And we went, his base stats are quite good. So why not just
Yeah.
go with Kudus? He's beating players, and I'm talking for myself now, but
Mm.
we ended up
Mm.
doing the same trade with him, and
Yeah.
I think it was the better. I think we can look back now and say it was the better decision.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So he's still in my team now. And we'll get to this week. But yeah, 100%. I think it was the better move. Although Richarlison did score this past game week, I still think in the long run it is going to be the better move. So
Well,
yeah, that's
Solanke's back now, I believe. I think after this week, I think Solanke's back.
okay. Okay.
And they've
Yeah.
signed Kolo Muani at the last minute, and I think he's injured for now. But
Yeah.
first, I don't rate Kolo Muani too much, but I don't know. If I was Thomas Frank, I think Thomas Frank likes Richarlison. I think he likes his
Yeah.
style as a player, and I think it suits Tottenham really well. But to have two other strikers, like Solanke can score goals, Kolo Muani can score goals. So I think Kudus is only really fighting with Kulusevski, and
Yeah.
I think we've taken the better pick because I think Kudus is better than Kulusevski, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest with you.
Absolutely.
Anyways,
And
week
too.
four,
Yeah. Yeah.
where are
So
you
week
here?
4. All right. Another
137.
Another good week. Another good week. Another good week in the 130s. So yeah, and then I guess I did take a punt with Calafiori as VC because that was the early game.
Yep.
And he scored 9, and I was like tossing up. I'm like, oh, 9 points a bit low for a VC. So had it on Haaland, and obviously he went gangbusters. And this was the week also that I brought in Satch. Now, he was a player that a lot of people were talking about from Leeds, just because Leeds had a really good run of fixtures coming up.
Yep.
So I took out Sarr from Tottenham because, if I'm not mistaken, was that when they signed Xavi Simons?
Yes.
Yeah, so they signed Xavi Simons, so we were thinking that Sarr would potentially play more defensive, and
Yep.
that was my thinking as well. So that's why I brought in mental blank Satch. Yeah, and he underperformed, and I was like, okay, have I made the right move here? But obviously, you're not going to trade him out after a week, and we'll get to the week. We'll get to the week that was just passed. I'm sure we will. But again, it's a player that I was kind of looking at and was like, okay, I'm going to hold this player for a little while now. He's going to make money. He's going to score points. He's on set pieces.
Yep.
That's why I kind of held him. And then again, like I had players like Van de Ven, 25 points, like unbelievable when he scored that game week as well. Palmer, that was another one. I was like, I'm so nervous with what's going to happen with Palmer because I wasn't sure if it was going to start.
Yes.
And he didn't.
And he
But you
still
know what?
scored.
It worked in my favor because he came on and he scored. So with this game is honestly so volatile, and you can score one week, you can score 150, one week you can score 60 and not make any trades and still have the same team. So
Yep.
you need a bit of luck as well, though. And a lot of luck has fallen my way.
Well, we'll get to week 5,
Yeah.
and there you are again,
Yeah.
126.
Yeah. So again, was tossing up with the VC, ended up going Ekatike, which I was really happy with. And I was telling people, I said, I've got this feeling because obviously Isaac
Isak.
is at Liverpool now and he's breathing down Ekatike's neck.
Yep.
And I was like, if Ekatike wants to hold this spot, he needs to score. And I was just
Yep.
actually telling people, I feel like he's going to score this week. Literally, it's so funny. I flicked on the TV. I reckon 2 or 3 minutes in, he got that beautiful ball from, was it Gravenberch?
Yep.
And scored. And I was like, oh, ripper. So, he initially was on quite a few points early on, and I knew he was going to finish quite strongly as well. Obviously came off, but that's okay. But still scored the 15 points, which in my opinion was more than enough to take as a VC.
Yep.
And again, our boy Anton Stack just proves why you don't make moves after 1 week, especially if you've brought in a player.
Yep.
Scored an absolute worldie of a free kick,
What
which
a
was
goal, man.
unbelievable. Scored 24 points. Obviously, fielded players like Juve, which worked in my favour.
Yeah, I was
Juve
gonna say
actually.
over the years so far, 5 weeks in, your choice of the cheapy defenders to play
Yeah,
gotten a little bit lucky, but that's just my
I have.
opinion.
I
That's my opinion.
have.
I'm not gonna
Hang on,
say anything else.
bit of jealousy, right, Braz?
Oh, maybe.
No, honestly, and no, we were talking about this too. Extremely lucky with Juve.
Yep.
Got an assist, obviously, and extremely lucky with Truffert. Because if I'm being honest, I thought Bournemouth were going to concede, but
I didn't. I didn't think
yeah,
because of how
yeah,
Newcastle played, like played Champions League, they don't look very threatening at the moment, but they do, but they don't.
yeah,
But
they're a funny
it
one.
was like a 50-50. And I
Yeah,
think we both took that risk with Truffert. I didn't take that risk with Juve, knowing West Ham's defense, but he
yeah.
still got an assist from a corner.
Yeah. One thing I do want to say as well is I have been leaving a lot of points on the bench, but still scoring well. Like I had Dorgu on bench this past week, who scored 13.
Yep.
Um, and I believe if I flick through my notes, it might have been game week 3. I had Truffert on the bench, who scored 15.
Yep.
So I have been leaving a lot of points on the bench. It hasn't cost me, thank goodness. But yeah, I again, as we've said, I have been quite lucky, but I'd like to think it's educated luck. Like I've done the research, I've
Yep.
been talking to the right people, aka yourself, and just yeah, just be making the right choices and decisions at this point in time.
As I said in the Discord, because a lot of people, the boys are really, really nice and like
Yeah,
generous with their compliments. And I say, hey, listen, I'm here for, I'll give you advice. I'm not
yeah,
going to ever take credit for it because at the end of the day, you make the trades, I don't. All
yeah.
right.
No, that's very true, and that's very true,
But
100%.
for some reason, I'm not using the same program that I always use for this. So it's only letting me do 4.5 minutes left. All right. So
That's right. No worries.
what is your trades for this week? Actually, do you want to talk about your trades this week? Because you're
Yeah,
first. I'll give you. You want to?
absolutely. Let's do it, mate. I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a man of the people. I'm a man of the people. Like I'm number one in the world at the moment. I'm all. I'm gonna put it all out there. Absolutely.
All right.
So,
I can't bring up your new team, but
right,
talk to the people.
all
What are
good.
you
Yep.
doing?
So,
Who's in? Who's out?
who's in? So, who's in is Gabriel from Arsenal, Simmons, so Xavi Simmons, and Salah. So, I am potentially boosting, considering a boost. And out goes Dewsbury Hall, Ekitike, and Ballard.
Yep.
Now, my hand has been forced, I feel, with the news around Haaland. Now, I'm thinking he will start and he will play. Bit nervous about him, but I'm sure he'll be okay. But with Ekitike getting a red card this morning,
Yep.
obviously not playing in the league, I'm thinking he needs to go. Ballard's done his job, so he's going to go as well. And Dewsbury Hall, I believe, has done his job as well. So I am bringing in Gabriel from Arsenal. Arsenal have got a really good run of fixtures coming up. Xavi Simmons scored really, really well the first week he played and then came on and looked good as well. And honestly, I'm just waiting for Salah to just absolutely pop off. And
Yeah.
I think he's really due.
I think like he's just going under the radar. And I say in the Discord every time, I just like Mr. Inevitable, because that's what he is. Like he you look at him and sometimes so far this season, you're like, mate, he's not gonna do nothing, he's gonna do jack
Yeah.
shit. And then
Yeah.
he does something and you're like, and like he's scoring points consistently. It's just not
Mm,
the big ones like last season, but last season was crazy. Um,
yeah.
who are maybe three other players that you would look at getting in the next, say, 10 weeks, or who you think are going to be cheapies or whatnot? Like, not
Yes.
cheapies, keepers,
Yeah.
like that you want to
Yeah.
have for a while.
So one player that sticks out to me, and I'm looking at actually targeting him next week, is Victor Gyökeres.
Yep,
Um, so he's one that I'm potentially looking at bringing in next week.
yep,
Um, yeah. As for some other players, I'd be looking at Arsenal players because Arsenal have got a really good run of fixtures.
yep.
I believe Leeds still have a good run of
Yes.
fixtures. Um, and
That's why we
Tottenham,
brought in Stack.
Yeah, and I'd say Tottenham. I believe Tottenham probably for another couple of weeks have a good
Yep.
run of fixtures as well. Hence why I brought in Xavi Simons as well. So if you
Yep.
don't have Xavi Simons, I'd look at targeting him. Another player actually I forgot, Reinders
Yep.
from Man City. He'd
I
probably
brought
be
him in this
another
week.
one that I'd look at as well. Yeah, yeah. So
Well,
similar mindset, I think me and you, Raz.
look, I think I don't want to say anything. It's early in the season, and I don't want someone to clip it and come back to me at week 38. So I'm going to say nothing, but
Yeah,
I'm just going to say that we're going to keep trying very hard, and we're going to keep
absolutely,
doing our best,
absolutely, we
and
will.
that you're only 70 points ahead of me, and I'm coming for you, bro. You best believe it. And I've said it to everyone in all my videos. I think, and I honestly, truly say this with a 100% belief, I think someone in our chat will win the league. I think
I
there's
hope so.
so much knowledge. I think there's so much behind what people say. So, but Jordan, I've got to end it there because this is killing me. I wish I wanted to do more with you.
All good,
Um,
mate.
let's see how we go the next couple of weeks. I'd love to have you back on if you're still doing well. If
100%.
you're not doing well, you're not coming back, bro. It's not happening. I'm
Yeah.
not
You
having
can
it.
flick me from the Discord.
I'll go, boys. Jordan's done. Jordan's gone. He's not performing well enough. But listen,
Absolutely.
I greatly appreciate it.
No worries.
Always, you're always in the chat having a chat, and I'm loving it. So
Yeah.
take care of yourself.
You
Thank
too.
you,
Thanks for having me on,
and
Braz.
to everyone else, catches.
Cheers, guys.